Yo, what's good campers, it's your boy Killer Beezy, and today we are starting a new series called Justice. Now, if you guys like the idea of this series, then make sure you hit the like button, and also if you guys have any suggestions for champions that you think we need to do justice for, then in the comments of this video, please leave the name of the champion, but do not leave your ideas, because what I will do is I'll review the champion and I will put forward my suggestions, and then within that video you guys can comment in the video and give me your suggestions within the comments. So in the comments of this, you can give your suggestions of what you feel like Miles Morales could have to be better and whatnot, and then also leave the name of a champion that you feel like you would like to see get some justice. So the reason why I'm going to be talking about Miles Morales is because I've been watching the film Into the Spider-Verse a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but you know, you get to see a lot of Miles Morales, and I think that the game does not do him justice at all. I mean, even going by the synergies that you can see on the screen right now, I think none of them do him justice. You know, he has absolutely no synergies with the OG Spider-Man. He's got no synergies with Gwenpool, and to me it just seems so strange, because it's like the big thing to bring Miles Morales into the cinematic verse, if you would say, like, you know, he has absolutely no relationships with, like, you know, there's no rival synergy with Kingpin, there's no friendship synergy with Gwenpool, there's no synergy with OG Spidey, like there's just nothing. And I feel like that definitely needs to be revisited. You know, just synergies alone. On top of that, we can go into a bit more detail with talking about his abilities. Now, he has a Venom Blast ability, but the ability in game I feel like is just absolutely useless. And on top of that, his special 3 does absolutely nothing. It doesn't even have a description in the bio with regards to anything to do with his special 3. I feel like this champion needs to heavily have some justice done to him, man, because I've been doing my research on Miles Morales, and there's a few things about Miles Morales that I would love to see come into the contest. So for those of you who didn't know, Miles Morales has very similar powers to the OG Spider-Man that we've all seen, but he's not necessarily as strong as the OG Spider-Man, and his spider senses don't work as well as the OG Spider-Man. However, Miles Morales has the ability to camouflage. So Miles Morales can go invisible, and I would love to see that brought into the game, and it definitely is possible, because when you look at champions like the Hood, he has the ability to go invisible, and you know, it then gives a percentage chance for hits to be missed. And I feel like Miles Morales needs to have that ability in game, because it's such a big part of his character. It needs to be included. Another ability that Miles Morales has is his Venom Blast. Now, this is like an energy source just obviously being released from Miles Morales, from his palm, and he can use it to strike at enemies, right? So he can use this in very close range, and he can use it literally touching the opponent, but he can also use it as a long range attack. So I would love to see that being brought into game, because we have so much champions that deal energy damage and whatnot, and I feel like Kabam can do so much with this. You know, even just going into a little bit of detail, so it seems like that ability of Miles is broken down into 2. So he can use an ability called Venom Blast and an ability called Venom Strike. Now, Venom Strike, I believe, is basically like a direct energy blast from a distance. So I would love to see this incorporated into the game. I'd love to see it as a long range attack through his specials. I think it's definitely needed, and Kabam could play around with it, you know, because when I was doing my research, you know, I was looking, and the how effectful it is just crazy, man. It was saying that the Venom Strike can temporarily paralyze opponents, and that, you know, it was so powerful that it made Hank Pym unconscious when he turned into Giant Man, which I think is crazy. That is absolutely insane, man. So the more research I've done on this champion, the more I've just been like, how does his in-game character not reflect his abilities? It doesn't make sense. And to top it all off, One of the biggest things for me is I didn't realize that Miles can affect a more powerful version of the strike, which he refers to it as the Mega Venom Blast. So I feel like all these abilities need to be included into the game, man. And Kabam can do something like, we have a lot of charges in the game now. We've obviously, you guys can see that Miles Morales has his evade buffs, and obviously it stacks. He can't naturally evade, but every time he uses a special, he gets the evade charges at the top, right? So what they could do is you could have his evade charges, you could have a mechanic where he swipes back, and maybe it changes from evade buffs to energy buff, and therefore you do the more energy buffs you have, the more damage you do from your special attacks. But I feel like every special attack should have ability, and it should have an ability that Miles has, like maybe the special one is a guaranteed stun due to his Venom Blast. The special 2, I don't know, maybe it like does some shock damage. It applies shock damage, and the more evade buffs that you had, which you've transferred into energy buffs or shock buffs, the more your shock damage stacks from your SP2. And then maybe have a SP3 where you can bring in some shock abilities, a bit similar to like what Nebula has, I guess, where you can basically have it so that he uses his special 3, and like for a certain duration of time, every hit that he has does a massive amount of direct damage over a period of time, or it just applies or maybe you have a chance to apply shock damage and you apply it. When you use your SP3, it applies whatever charges you have as permanent shock charges within that fight for the remainder of that fight, unless you use your SP3 again. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Kabam need to bring something like that into play, because I feel like Miles Morales needs more. He needs to have more, man. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys like any of the ideas, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any other suggestions as to how we can make Miles Morales great in the game, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video, man. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in episode 2.